It goes back to one of my favorite concepts. Just work smarter, not harder. And especially in today's time on social media, we got to make sure that we're utilizing and optimizing all of our time. You got to take the algorithm out and please the audience. But when you please the audience with this type of engagement, this type of reaction, when they respond and goes to the DM, the algorithm is pleased too, because now it's picking up on signals of a relationship, and you guys can start the communication. It's doing all that in the background. We have our guest, the incredible I am Alicia Noel.
Hey y'all, hey. I'm thankful I get to be your guest today, and I'm excited for what we're going to chat about, because you know I love everything Instagram and social media.
For the main question, the main topic that I know everybody is here for, to try to get some information on how to grow a community. I want to get into that right now, as myself and Alicia are going to share some of our favorite ways to do just that. So the question is, what is one of your favorite methods to grow your Instagram community that you would recommend to those that are watching?
Oh, this is a great question. So one of my favorite things to do, and I've probably been doing this for over 2 years now, is at least once or twice a month, I ask an easy multiple choice question that everybody can answer. And so I don't make it hard, but don't make it where you got to think a whole lot. Y'all, we are not trying to, social media is our place to escape. We're not trying to get on here and think. But if you give me a question that is multiple choice, and it's like, what's the hardest thing for you as a mom? What's the hardest thing for you, building your brand? Like something question, you give them 4 choices, and it's like A, B, C, D, multiple choice. At minimum, even if I just comment B, I have innately built an engagement with you now, and Instagram's going to start showing me your content because you've now I've commented on your piece of content. So just doing that one, and I try to do it about twice a month now. But when I was early on, I was doing it maybe even once a week, where I would ask us, and it doesn't always have to be in your feed. I like it when it's in your feed because you get people to comment, but you can also do this as polls on stories. To me, this is the easiest way, by giving people multiple choice. I don't have to think about it, but I innately begin to engage. And so if you ask a poll in your stories, don't just get them to answer, but if they gave you an answer, follow up with them. Hey, I saw that you're struggling with, managing life with a 1-year-old. Me too, girl. Like, here's some things I'm doing to help. Like, don't just have them answer a question and then not follow through with them. You're like almost getting people to the tip of communicating with you, and then you don't follow through. Like, no.
Yeah.
You got, if you want them to continue to communicate with you, once they answer a question, follow up with them, talk to them, get to know what their struggles are. For one, if you own a business and you're not getting to know the struggles of your clients, you're not going to be able to grow because you can't serve them well. But if you get to know this is what they're dealing with, this is the reason why they say that they're having, issues with their brand, it allows for you to continue to grow and build. And so that's my all-time favorite way. I'm always getting tons of, even like I said, when I was a smaller account, and like I would post it and it would at least have 20 comments. And that's commenting on social media, it does take a lot of like, oh, I have to actually write something. But when you make it easy for them by giving them a multiple choice, you can scroll through my page and see some of those questions that are super easy, and you just A, B, C, D. And once you make it that easy, then you can comment and be like, oh, it's not that hard to pick your hashtags. Go look at this live. You can point them in different directions of things that you offer that will help them with those answer choices too. So it's a whole nother way to engage them and make it even more.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna add on to that. I was gonna throw something else, but I'm gonna use this one on top, because when I say this, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm still in that idea. I do that same thing with simple questions. Sometimes it might not even relate, honestly, to my brand directly, to what my content value. Sometimes I'm just going out there just to get engagement, but I do it via a reel, and I'll ask them something simple. I just pulled up one. The last one I did it was true or false. I mean, who doesn't want to jump into a true or false? And the question was, Netflix is the most viewed streaming service, true or false? But me being the person that I am.
I gotta DM you the answer, don't I?
You commented, but I give you the answer via DM, via my chat bot. And not only does it give you the answer, it'll give you a little bit more information in regards to if you are wrong, they would comment it, true or false. The ManyChat automation would kick it, would capture it, and send them the answer along with more information given them, so they feel like they get educated. There's a little bit of entertainment, and then I'll throw something else in the mix to inspire them to take action on possibly something else that relates to it and my brand. That was a simple question with a simple answer, and everybody's jumping in giving answers. And this is exactly what Alicia is trying to talk about right here. Ask them something like we just asked you guys, and you guys are automatically engaging. Do that in your own IG stories and your posts. You're going to build up that engagement. And then later on, if you want, you can always jump into the DM and continue the conversation however you please.
I love that piece, because now they've commented and now they've gotten the more information, and you know that they have been touched and they have been nurtured for as your audience, versus just, oh, they put something out there and they didn't get anything from it. Like, they commented and I didn't respond.
Exactly. And it goes back to what we stated earlier. As I stated, you got to take the algorithm out and please the audience. Yeah. But when you please the audience with this type of engagement, this type of reaction, when they respond and goes to the DM, the algorithm is pleased too, because now it's picking up on signals of a relationship, and you guys can start the communication. It's doing all that in the background. So it goes back to one of my favorite concepts: just work smarter, not harder. Sure. And especially in today's time on social media, we got to make sure that we're utilizing and optimizing all of our time. As you said, you're doing your engagement like 20 minutes here and there. That's great, and that's a good way to do it, rather than trying to shed it out like 2 hours. I'm not gonna lie, I used to do that in the beginning, where I used to go on to different people's posts and comment, and it was a waste of time. I had to start thinking differently.
Really good. Really, really good.
We got our solution in regards to how to grow a community, and that's one of our favorite ways. It just so happens that we had something in common right then and there in regards to how we both do it. But that's not the one and only way. There are many ways that you can learn how to do that yourself. The idea overall is pretty much, don't focus on the vanity metric of the follower numbers. The idea is to focus on the community, those that you are serving, and you can do it in multiple ways. We're not just building followers, but building community. That's the key word today out of this conversation. And I hope you guys take some of the strategies and tips that we discussed during this entire conversation. And like I always like to say, step your gram up and improve your strategy so that it can work in your favor. Surprisingly, the answer is YouTube. YouTube is the biggest streaming service out of Netflix, Disney Plus, and all of them. It is bigger than even traditional TV. Is growing immensely fast. And that was all of that information I gave once they actually submitted just a simple true or false.